Hi there, Phil Dart from Beaufort Ink. I want to talk to you about the new fountain pen section sleeves that we've just put on our website, which is one of these. To help me explain that, I'm going to show you this first of all, which you might already be familiar with. It's a ready-made section. It's made by Bock. It's a ready-made fountain pen section which already has the threading inside and the geometry is correct for the housing of a Bock nib. In this case it's a size 6. We've got them for size 5 as well. So it's preformed on the inside, it's got a thread on the back, and all you have to do is to thread the inside of your pen barrel to accept the section and the job's done. It takes the hassle out of making the inside of the section, it takes the hassle out of making the outside, but of course it's ready made, so you have no choice at all over what it actually looks like. So as an alternative to that, we've got these, which, as I say, is a section sleeve. Excuse me. We have produced them with wooden sections in mind because threading the inside of a wooden section is nigh on impossible, to be honest. It's a very, very fine thread in there. Getting that to stay intact without chipping is nigh on impossible. So as I say, originally the original concept was for wooden fountain pen sections, but there's nothing at all to stop you using these on any other material. You can use them on acrylics, on ebonite, or you can even use them on other metals if you want to. So what you've got is, well, basically a tube here with a thread on the end. This is a size 6 and the thread on this is M10 by 1, so the diameter is 10mm and the pitch is 1mm. The tube from the end of the thread here up to the open end is 25mm, but I'll talk to you a bit more about the length of that in a moment. And it's already sorted out inside to accept a Bock nib, and again in this case a size 6, so it just screws in. So all you have to do is to take your blank, and I've got a piece here, this is just a bit of scrap I've drilled out. That is a shade under 9mm, it's 8.8mm or thereabouts. So all you do is drill your blank out to 9mm and glue it in. If you're using acrylic, it's good practice to paint the inside of the hole. If you were making a pen from a kit and you were gluing in a tube, that's what you would normally do. You'd either paint the tube or you'd paint the inside of the hole, preferably the inside of the hole, to stop the tube from showing through, because at the time this is turned down, with a lot of acrylics there's a good chance it will be translucent or that you'll see the tube through it. So by painting the inside of the hole you'll stop that from happening. So you glue the tube in, wait for it to dry, and then you can put it on your lathe and turn it to shape. You can hold it on a threaded mandrel. You can even turn it between centres if you want to, but obviously it gives you the freedom to make the outside of the section exactly how you want it to look. This one is I've made this a little bit longer than 25mm. It's about 26 thereabouts. If you're cunning about how you trim that to length, which I suggest you do on the lathe, just let me show you this first of all. The nib locates, there's a little lip on the end of the fountain pen housing. We've got drawings for these housings. If you want one, just send us an email and we'll email it to you. But there's a little lip on that, and the idea is that lip locates on the end of the sleeve to stop it just passing right the way through the thing, which is exactly what it's supposed to do, and that's what I suggest that you do with your pen designs as well. Locate it on that lip rather than it running out of thread, because if it runs out of thread there's a danger that it will seize up. So it's much better to have a little bit of thread left and to locate on that lip. But if you're cunning with cutting this to length, if you leave that just a tiny little bit proud by the same depth as the thickness of this lip, you can organise it so that when it screws in, the top of that lip is flush with the end of your blank, with the end of your section, I should say, which is a nice, neat finish. It doesn't have to be, you can do it whichever way you want, but it's just a design thing. It doesn't affect functionality, other than, as I say, it's always best to make sure that the nib housing locates on that lip rather than by running out of thread. So all you've then got to do, once you've finished your section, you've got to create a thread M10 by 1 in this particular case on the inside of your barrel, and we've got thread taps and dies that correspond with that on the website, and the job is done. I said I'd talk to you a bit about the length of this. It's 25mm from the end of the thread here up to the opening. The inside of this is designed so that if you want, you can reduce that length by up to 3mm. So you can make it 22mm long if you want. So instead of, I'm just going to get a converter. I did that the wrong way around, didn't I? Let me put that converter on there. If it's full length, you've got a converter. That's where the housing sits, and you can see where the converter is going to push into. If you reduce it, obviously it's going to sit a little bit further down, but there's still, by reducing it 3mm, you're still not running out of thread here, and there's still ample inside to take the converter and to give the converter some support by being in there, so it's not vulnerable in getting knocked around. So there we are, fountain pen section sleeves. They're on the website now, and I hope you like them. Thanks very much for watching.